Let me see this.
No,
Nah, we not done, dog.
That's fine.
Let me see what you was gonna do. Oh, you
Okay.
did have a monogamy polyamory question.
Yeah. 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 Look how far.
All right. I don't know why that was funny. It's season 2, episode 12. Very excited to have Jidenna here.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm really excited that you got here early. It's not
Feel me?
every day where you have artists coming early. Normally, as the host, we're waiting for you. So I think that's great.
I know. I'm not. I don't think the world revolves around me.
That's nice. That's nice to know.
Unlike a lot of my peers, you know what I'm saying? we think we're so special. I'm here to tell everybody you're not.
Good. You're not special. Okay, we're looking at you. So I'm really glad to have you here. This is our first time meeting.
I know.
What's been going on? What's life like for you these days?
Well, you know, I'm one of the first people that I know, or first artists,
Yeah.
that took a couple years just to be in love as opposed to working. Obviously, I had the runway and the privilege of having the runway to do that.
Right.
But the last couple of years, I made the time to build a relationship. I made time, period, actually. That's why the relationship happened. So that's what I've been doing. And while doing that, you know, love, sex, psychedelics, and music. And this album is really an offshoot of all that.
Wow. Well, I'm excited to get into that. But first, let's talk about this love life, because I feel like being in the industry, it's difficult to find a significant other, at least for me. I don't know, as a woman. So how did that whole, you focusing on love and relationship, because sometimes I feel like we have to choose between career and love,
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously it's always a balance, but I think that men tend to be socialized as little boys to pursue a career more than little girls, right?
Yeah.
And we think it's honorable. And I remember all the men that I idolized. I remember watching Spike Lee's Malcolm X and being like, man, I want to be Malcolm X. And seeing that scene where he's hovering over his desk, he's writing a speech, his wife comes in and she's like, Malcolm, we need you. He's like, the people need me. and she's like, no, your family needs you.
Right.
And I remember, and then he slaps the desk. And that desk slap is now like a meme or a GIF right now. And everyone uses it, but I remember why he slapped the desk is because he couldn't balance his career and his family. I think that the trick for me as somebody who identifies as a man is I needed to make time. The same time that I make for my work, I have to make time for love, because your purpose is not just a career. Your purpose is your relationships with people and your career and your passion, all that together. But I wasn't doing that before. I was just trying to, be that cool, ambitious guy. You could never quite settle down. The Rolling Stone, that whole nine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and the same things that would attract women to me would repulse them in the end, because they want to be with this next level, busy, hardest working man in showbiz.
Yeah.
And then they get with it and they realize, oh, I never have access to you.
Right. It's almost like, too, they want the money and the fame, but at the end of the day, they realize, like, wait, hardworking men, it's too busy. They're too busy. They don't have, like, that one-on-one time with that person. So
You don't have the one-on-one time. You don't have the time to reflect.
right. That's true.
I'm not thinking on the car ride over here. I'm on a phone call, or maybe, some interviews you have to go to and they give you a whole bunch of questions. What's your favorite, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you're doing that in an Uber ride over here. So you don't have the time to think about, your last conversation.
Wow.
And that don't help you in the long run at all.
So at what point did that flip for you? Because you said in the beginning you weren't like this.
Yeah. There was this thing that happened to everybody in the world called a pandemic.
Don't remind me. It's a nightmare. I don't want to go back. I actually broke up with mine.
Oh,
person
no,
during
sorry.
that
I was
time
the
period.
opposite. We had the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
I think when I did have that one-on-one time more, because I'm a busy woman.
Yeah.
So when I did see him all the time, he's okay, you know, man, I don't want to say anything bad,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I realize he just might have not been my person.
Yeah, that's all.
After seeing that.
There's chemistry and there's compatibility.
Right.
You probably just realized maybe y'all had initial chemistry, but you didn't have compatibility.
No.
Yeah.
It got really toxic. I don't know why that was.
Yeah. You know, there's always at least one toxic relationship, at least in our lives.
But do you feel like soulmates can still be
Hell yeah.
toxic? Because I
Hell
really
yeah.
feel
I
like
was
he
the
was
most
my
toxic
soulmate.
with my last soulmate. And I don't believe in like the one soulmate thing.
So there are multiple soulmates.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question. It's like I don't question it because I've already lived that, and I know other people who have too.
Okay.
Maybe for you said okay, like dang, because I was thinking there's only one.
Yeah,
Nah, it's not one and done. And
Right.
if you believe in it, life is literally what you believe in. Whatever, if you believe in a ghost, you'll see ghosts. So if you believe in more than one soulmate, you'll have more than one soulmate.
I think too, like as a woman, we box ourselves because for me, like dating and having to go back into that world seems so exhausting.
It is exhausting.
So-
And I can only imagine as a woman. What
It's a
like.
lot.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lot.
I mean, all my women friends, like conversations we have, I'm like, damn, dog.
We
I
don't
lose
have it
hope.
good.
I'm not even in that same situation now, and I lose hope.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. I understand, like, especially if you're a black woman dating a black man. I understand that we both have our challenges.
Mm-hmm.
You know, black men traditionally have not had the access. It's been very difficult for us to access the same capital as our white counterparts. For black women, it's difficult because you're facing the world being black and a woman. And what
Right.
happens as a result is what you see all over the internet. Like just really harsh wound providing statements that just cut and slice. And when I've done it, man, I've been a horrible man. Let me be clear.
Ooh.
I'm not where I am today for being nice.
Okay.
I'm where I am today from being an asshole.
So you were that toxic man, not
Yes,
the classic
and every-
man.
and
He was
every-
the toxic man.
No, the reason I made a classic man is because I am a classic man. Like, actually, I still have patriarchy running through my blood. Like, I see the residue of the same things I'm trying to change in myself.
Okay.
I'm very aware. To this day, I'm like, oh, man, you just, like, wow, that's what you just did? I've said some mean things, you know?
At least you're self-aware. I feel like a lot of men, I think they are, but they don't at least express it to their woman.
It's because when we was little boys, we do something wrong, everybody made an excuse for us. Let the boys just be boys. They just boys.
Yeah.
So when you become a man, you kind of excuse yourself. You know, like I excuse myself for being really honest. I'm from the East Coast originally. We crass, you know what I'm saying? My father's Nigerian, very blunt.
Yeah.
Both places that you see inside of me, you go be straight and to the point. Point and kill.
Wow.
One and done. So when I go say something to you, it'll be very, you know,
Straight and concise.
don't ask me a question you don't want the answer to.
Right.
But the issue with that is what happens as a result is you're not being compassionate and considerate. And that's actually not protecting.
Right.
Whatever that little protecting and provide phrase that you think you're supposed to be, you're not protecting her heart. You're not protecting her ability to grow because you're not being compassionate.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, man, I feel great now because I've been through the dirt and the burning sands like a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
at what point do men finally want to settle down? I feel like at this point you got to be like late 30s, early 40s. Did we lose
think-
hope?
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, you ever listen to 1970s artists or like early 80s, 60s, 50s, how they used to sing?
Yes.
Okay, there's a reason why, you know, Anderson .Paak says people don't even beg anymore, right?
Yeah.
The reason why people don't beg, don't blush anymore is because in the 70s and 60s, they didn't have Instagram. They didn't have no explore page.
You're right.
So when
Yeah.
when when Isaac Hayes saw old girl coming down the street, and he's like, damn, man, she's fine. And like, he sits with her. She's highly intelligent.
Right.
He's a composer himself. She's some sort of artist. And he's like, man, if this doesn't work out, I'm never going to love again.
Yeah.
I'm never going to see on, man. And she's just going to walk on by.
So you have to like talk like right then and there versus like now on social media,
you be like,
they're
I'm
so
good,
accessible.
dog. I'm good. Yeah, you see the lot. It's wild.
I almost feel like it's just no hope in just like real relationships almost now.
No, here's the beauty of it. Like, people are still sheep, you know what I'm saying? We still idolize gods, like celebrities, you know, actual God, whatever the case may be. We idolize these big myths. So the hope I have is you just have to have enough people change the myth. Like even right now, you do see I grew up and really came of age in the 90s, and as a little boy, I saw a lot of black love on TV. Yeah. But now I see a lot of black love on Instagram, actually more so than I see TV shows.
That is very true. I
so,
agree.
And what's cool about that is it's actually real people doing it. So you get all these couple goals, which also can be depressing when you're not in a relationship.
Don't remind me,
Nah,
Jidenna.
I've been in that for years watching that. I want to see that shit. Fuck
I don't want to see it. So are you in a successful relationship right now still?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so since the last album, I guess during that time period of COVID, that's when you guys kind of started that relationship.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
We met one of those instant things. She had come from ethical non-monogamy, and I had too. And that was a turn. Before I was dating some
it's
amazing.
So popular now. There's these terms that they have.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I actually care less about the title of polyamory or ethical non-monogamy. I don't care. Yeah. I always say, like, you're discussing an agreement with somebody. That's all. So, you know, but we met. I stopped dating monogamous women because I realized, even my first polyamorous relationship, that a lot of people, and specifically, unfortunately, I see this with women dating men a lot, is the tendency to bend to the will or the preferences, the default settings of the man in the relationship in regards to polyamory. He wants to open up. Man, I love him. I don't want to lose him. If I don't open up, I lose him. If I at least try this thing and see if I can have some compersion for him fucking somebody else, then maybe we'll be okay. So that's what you see a lot. And I knew that. And men, we know that. So I knew that in my first relationship. I was like, yeah, I have the leverage here. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Men do have the leverage.
Yeah, but I'm not playing innocent. I never play innocent.
Okay.
That's the difference. Yeah. I knew it when I was doing it.
Okay.
Now, after the challenges we had and the heartbreak and whatnot, we had a great relationship, but then it got rough. Now I was like, I can't go into another relationship with somebody who's monogamous and then starts leaning my direction. I need to find somebody who's already there. And so the woman the lovely woman I'm in love with now, she was dating and in love with two men at the same time when I met her. And I was like, perfect.
I've never heard that before, especially from a man. I feel like you guys are very like territorial of your women. Like, it's okay for you guys to play around.
We're performing it and we're also feeling it. Like that's what jealousy in a man looks like. Okay. But we're also performing something. That's all we do. I mean, we perform femininity and masculinity all the time. But with her, I was like, yeah, great. She has experience. She's doing the thing that I was doing. Yes. So I like that. That means that she has wisdom. That means she's going to know what she wants. That means she's not afraid to dictate her boundary. Yeah, she did.
If you're with multiple different partners?
Yeah, that doesn't mean that you automatically fail in a multiple choice test. Okay. You know that you want both people. That's not, and that's hard to say. So what I like is the courage that she had and somehow the ability to do that, because most men don't do that kind of what's called polyandry, where it's two men with one woman and the men are not intimate. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay, you're doing it. So I found that attractive because I'm like, cool, she knows what it is. We started meeting, and of course, quality time often trumps all the other love languages because that's what we have on this earth is time, highest currency. So over time, we decided to make it exclusive to us.
So now it's just you two, or you guys can also date other people?
No, we're not dating nobody, and I don't see it for the foreseeable future. To be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you guys get to that point? Just through trial and error?
Because we've both been in a situation where we are in love with two people, and that is different than like being in love with one person and then gonna go play and have fun with somebody else. Okay, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
When two hearts, do you know what it's like? Like one heartbreak is wild enough. Imagine
I don't wanna go
two
to that
heartbreaks around you and your heart being yanked. It's like that image of the guy who like gets stretched by having ropes on his wrists and his ankles and just being stretched in multiple directions. That's what it feels like in polyamory when you break up. So it's not easy. So her being through that and going through that, me going through that previously some years ago, we were able to talk about it, and we was like, yo, right now, nah, dog, this is too much heart right now.
Yeah.
Can't do it. I'll be fragile if you like, that's my heart, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So she felt the same way, boom. And we've been together now a few years. It's been fantastic. I would choose this any day over so many things, over money, a drink, my career. Why? When I get sick, I'm going to get sick and die at some point. I know it's morbid, I know.
Yeah,
but that's a
just
truth. It's just a truth, right? Yeah. So what do I need? I need somebody that I can grow old with and have fun with, and the hang is everything, man. It's all about the hang.
I feel like too, like as, I don't know, Black women, we're always taught to just like keep working. You don't need a man. And I just, like you said, it's a valid point that you do need a partner. Because I was watching this video of this like older woman. She was like, people were asking her, how did she, make it to like 100 years old or something like that? And she goes, I was in love and I had a lot of sex.
Man, I love that.
I was like, dang, is that the key? I'm out here losing. I'm not getting either.
But I guarantee she probably did have like a dull streak too. Everybody got it. I've had mine.
Well, she did say multiple dicks. I don't know about all that. We're not doing all that over
here.
You see
that? You see what she said? She almost said the word poly.
But I feel like
that poly blend.
In my position, I can't be out here because of what I do either. So it's like, I guess you just have to be exclusive. Like you had a conversation.
You can't be out here because of what you do.
Like to date multiple people, you gotta, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
What is because you're in the limelight?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I was in the limelight. I did keep it in the tuck. Like, I've never talked about anybody most of my career.
But I did see a viral video of you talking about it, though.
Yeah, now. And
that was on TMZ. Yeah. I'm not trying to be on TMZ with someone.
No.
Yeah, I'm a very private person.
I get it, but we not in private times. So, we're in the most public times of human history. So, like, even me, you think I don't really want to show the world, but I'm kind of like, you know what?
It is what
it is.
How can
I can't show my time. Like, one of the reasons why in the last couple of years, I'm not putting out music, I'm not, like, heavy promoting myself or anything, is because I'm with her most of the time. And so if I don't show her, I don't show people the real me. That's the majority of my time. You know what I'm saying? So how can I, in a era that cherishes being genuine, you literally can't, I won't say you can't, it is difficult to really do your job and be all the real you and provide that to the world if you don't actually share some portion of your love life.
I've never heard a man say this in my life. Like, this is such an interesting conversation, and I appreciate
maybe they
you
weren't
being
men.
So vulnerable. Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? No, that's the reality. Like, we are insecure about things, and we weren't taught how to communicate our emotions and our insecurities. So it makes it very difficult. Like, the only reason you can't be compassionate to a partner if you don't have self-compassion. Do you understand what, especially black men be going through? We be beating ourselves up at night, man. We be smoking through a blunt and like acting cool, putting the shades on, going to all these events. Man, everybody lying, bro. We don't feel good.
Yeah.
It doesn't, even if you're the one that made it, when you see your homie struggling, that doesn't feel great. Even if you go to Japan, you go to the one street in Tokyo, you see all the Nigerian homies out there trying to sell you some shit. And you're like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I'm traveling. You come home and you go to your city, and it doesn't feel good to see where we at. So all these emotions are bottled up. We don't feel like we do. We not listening enough. We like, damn, she right. It creates like a very difficult cage that we're trying to break free from.
Yeah.
So I just say that to say I think over time for me it was reading, going through my little toxic relationships, therapy, mushrooms, like listening more than talking. Probably the biggest thing I ever did. But
That's
that
so valuable.
and reading,
Just listen.
that and reading.
Yeah.
Black women read more than men at large. Black women are the main women in this country that will marry somebody who makes less than them. So in a country that prizes this like Euro patriarchal thing where like the man is the provider, we feel like we're failing most of the time. And that is very difficult. So that's kind of where we come from and why we act the way we do. I know y'all know it.
Yeah,
But,
money is a huge thing. I think that was the other reason why my
Man.
ex and I broke up, because I was the
I didn't want
breadwinner.
to say it, but I knew you were.
How'd you know?
Because when people talk about it, you can see when you spend time with somebody, like you can see, it's just patterns, man.
Yeah.
I knew it, but I'm like,
I didn't think that
understand
would bother me though. And
It
I think
does, though.
after a while, when you're going half on absolutely everything,
Yeah.
and the man wants you to be submissive, why would a woman want to be submissive to someone who is feeling like, and I'm already an alpha woman, so it felt like I was low key the man in the relationship a little bit.
Let me double click on that if you don't mind.
Okay, let's double click.
Okay, you know alpha, beta.
Yes.
You know any of the other ones?
No.
Exactly. I didn't know it for 2 years.
Okay.
And I only bring this up because the binary conversation of that term shouldn't be just limited to gender. It's also like our archetypes. So you have in that when we say alpha, beta, there was a whole bunch of other ones, gamma, sigma. Like there's other forms
sigma.
of archetypes, and it doesn't got nothing to do with the divine nine. It's like these are just archetypes in us.
Right.
So we don't realize that like some women may see a man who is not the loudest in the room, who's not beating his chest, swinging his thing around. Like it ain't, he's just not that guy, but somehow has the same amount of power as the guy who was more traditionally like a like traditional masculine man, right? If you only know alpha and beta, you may miss that guy. You may miss Andre 3000 in the corner. You think Jay-Z's an alpha, but like if you really look at how he's moved, he don't even have the loud. He's like, he said, no, I ain't animated like say a Busta Rhymes.
He's
he literally
loud with
has
his
that,
demeanor, his energy.
Yeah, his energy and
Yeah.
his sharpness and
Right.
his wit. And we respect him and how he moves, but it's not his immediate like loudness. He's not a loud guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why it was American Gangster. That's why it was Frank White. You know what I mean? And it's in that movie you see who Jay-Z would have been, or Frank Lucas. So I think there's these different archetypes, and if you don't know them, you might miss a guy who's actually an amazing guy because you mistake him for what you don't want, which is unfortunately usually the beta.
Right.
So
So what are you?
It's so funny. I went into the test. I've done like 10 of these tests online. I've talked to my homies, my homegirls. My hope was that I was a Sigma, which was like the alternate guy who goes his own path, doesn't care, somehow still arises to the same status and level of power as the alpha.
Right.
And every time I do the test, it comes out as alpha. And I don't want that.
Why?
I don't want to be the alpha. I want to be the guy who went against the grain and went his own path, and so that's the cooler guy to me.
Yeah.
I never admired just the alpha. Like alpha is cool,
Okay.
but I liked Andre 3000. I mean, I've liked the actors that play people that go a different railroad. Like so that's why. But I guess I don't know. I don't Sigma. The tests say otherwise.
Okay. What's your sign?
I knew you were going there.
How'd you
Why
know?
don't you guess? Because it's the
Are you-
obvious question.
Because I'm just really intrigued.
Because I actually have a connection. One
Okay.
is the obvious next question that I would ask. Two, how far in the chart are you with your sign? Like your
My
moon
friends
sign.
try to get me involved.
Oh,
I just know Leo
no.
and Rising probably, I don't know.
Oh no! I feel it. I was like that for a while, but
Maybe that'll help me find a partner if I get deeper into it, no? I don't know.
knowing yourself helps you find a better partner.
Knowing myself in regards to zodiac signs, or just taking more time for me and getting to know me on a personal level? Both?
For thousands of years, there was a thing called astrology.
Yes.
That before you were born, people studied. There was also a thing called human design, enneagram, all these different ways to know yourself. So I feel you on being skeptical, but before we were even here, all these ancient people studied different systems
Okay.
of knowing oneself. So I had to finally be like, I can't just write this off. So on baseline with your chart, there's your moon sign, there's your rising, and your rising is who you appear to be. Your moon is how you. One of the things is how you process emotions. So that triple prong between that and then your sun sign, the sign that you know, is really important to how you perceive yourself. Now you could read this shit and be like, "Yo, fuck this. I ain't none of this. I
Yeah.
don't like this. I don't buy it."
I'm open to it.
Yeah, the funny thing is, even me coming in as an analyst and be like, I don't know if I trust this. Yeah, I read everything, and it be lining up, man. It
Yeah.
lines up. Even the Sigma Alpha thing. So am I gonna say this? I'm not about to say this.
Yeah.
I'll say this.
Okay.
My rising is, 'cause I don't give my information out for free, even though they can find it online. My rising sign is one that's known to be playful and fun and cool and also curious, always looking for new information, wants to
Leo?
share it. I'm not gonna say what it is, but that is what I appear to be. But
Okay.
then my actual sun sign, who I'm comprised of mostly, is a Taurus, and that's
Okay.
when you talk about the alpha beta thing, I'll tell you, Taurus is never a beta position. It's almost always, it's a bull, for
Okay.
Christ's sake, got horns.
Yeah.
It's almost like the alpha sign. It's James Brown, it's Malcolm X. It's like that thing. And you see that in women and men and everybody in between, that Taurus bull. So it's interesting that I want to be a Sigma, but then I test as an alpha. It's almost like the Sigma is who I want. I wear my mask as to be fun and playful, but
Okay, it makes
underneath,
sense.
I want to dominate the world.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I need to look into more signs because I don't know. I have never looked at my chart for real.
This
I
is
just-
great, man. This is the first time that I've been in a show or a conversation with a woman, and I was able to impart some astrological wisdom. I'm feeling kind of. This is a good day for me.
Because I feel like the woman is the one that knows
Yo,
a lot of this stuff.
The funny thing is, I'm the skeptic in my crew. Like every circle, I'm the one being like,
And now it's
Mercury
me.
retrograde. Oh yeah, really?
No, that's a real thing.
No, that's
though.
just you're unorganized and you've been doing this for 5 years. Like I'm the one who would tell my homie, be like, yo, that's not Mercury retrograde, dog.
I feel like we've had so many Mercury retrogrades in the past year.
It's all the time. But
Yeah.
this is not to say it don't have an effect.
Right.
I'm just saying, out of all, that's the one that I feel like people use as an excuse more than anything. That and being a Gemini. It's like those two things. It's like I have polarity. I'm like, every human being has a dark and a light. That's not that cool,
Right.
bro.
Yeah.
Everybody got it. It's cool, man.
That's true.
But don't excuse your behavior. That Mercury retrograde, bro. So it's funny that I'm sitting here. I can't wait for them to watch this. I'm feeling myself today, dog. Shit.
But I'm actually so glad because I was looking up. I was trying to find some interviews. You haven't had one since 2017, I feel like.
No, Jesus,
It's been like-
don't do that to me.
No, it has been like
Wow.
3 years.
2019 was the first, probably the last in person, and then 2020, you know what it was? It was probably 2020.
Did you do any of those Zoom interviews?
Yeah, and then I did all those from 2020 to 2021.
I
Zoom
couldn't find
interviews, engagements. I don't know, man. It's cool. That's a good thing. That means
You
I've
are a
been
hidden
trying
gem.
to.
That's good.
Wow, thank you so much. I've been trying to hide from that limelight. I don't.
You're doing a great job.
She's like, I couldn't find you.
I was like, I'm just gonna
I
really
had
have
to
a really
respell
organic.
your name.
I did.
Yeah, because you had nothing to pull from. I am that guy though. Like when I was a kid, I never wanted to have a record.
That's good. I was like, is he dating? I don't know.
I know you can't see it.
But do you obviously want people to know that you're happily taken?
Now I want to be honest. I want to share my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in a phase in my life where I'm trying to share way more than I have probably ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
so
that
I
what
have
this
to,
music is gonna give?
Yeah. I've never really rapped much about love. If you really look at it, it wasn't really like Bambi. I sang about it.
I love Bambi. It's such a vibe.
It's an amazing record. I'm so glad that came through me, man. Like that's cool shit.
Yeah. Your sound is like no other. Like when you listen to it, it's just like it's interesting because for me, I feel like it's for every age range. My grandparents listen to you.
Yeah.
My parents, I listen to you. So like going down that generation is pretty dope.
That was how I pulled Shorty, you know what I'm saying? Grandparents love the music.
I was a grandparent.
It's game, dog. It's game, man. You gotta know. So many people, yo, my girl loves your music. Yo, my grandparents, you know, it's
like
always
that.
people, they, nah, I'm joking. That wasn't it was intentional to be an intergenerational and intercontinental, continental artist because I'm obviously African and American. I listen to my parents' music. I listen to, my niece's music. It's just important, I think, for people to reach different generations. For me, that like the most timely and timeless records were that.
I don't know if we have timeless records anymore though.
Yeah, we do. Damn.
Right now, people dropping records.
Yeah, man. There's amazing.
I feel like everything's so quick, like TikTok. It's just
There's
like
a lot.
snippets.
No, how we consume it, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that's
the
what I
artists
mean.
are still making amazing.
Yeah.
Yachty's record is gonna go down in history as one of the greatest albums of all time. Yeah, that's so funny. Damn. Wow. Yeah, you didn't expect that. You didn't expect that. I love Yachty's shit, man.
I did not expect that.
First of all, he's obviously a Pink Floyd fan.
Yes,
He's
I love
obviously
Pink
a late 60s, early 70s psychedelic fan.
Mm-hmm.
He did his homework. He worked with real musicians. He approached it as a musician. He's doing shit with autotune that has never been done before. Yachty's record is a classic that will one day go down in Rolling Stone's 100 greatest albums. And if they
Okay.
don't, then shame. Like, it's an amazing record. You know what I'm saying? So
Maybe I mean with the younger artists, like the TikTok artists. I feel like those aren't the evergreen.
Oh, like artists that just do it for TikTok?
That's what it feels like now.
Yeah. I mean, we all now are aware that we have to put a portion of our song as a sound on TikTok.
Yeah.
We're aware of it. But it doesn't take away from some of the dope shit that people are doing. Like Kali Uchis. Like,
You're right.
I think Kali Uchis music this entire time, I think Kali Uchis is one of the great artists of our time and our generation. I think that Mick Jenkins is one of the greatest poets of our generation, unsung artists. Like, there's amazing people to me.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You just, yeah. Oh, yeah, really? Okay, damn. I know. I feel you. I know. I'm over here
I
looking like
interviewed
Mr.
Kelly Uchis
Hopeful.
today. I love her. I think
Yeah.
you're right. I guess I'm just thinking about the songs I hear on an everyday basis on TikTok.
Yeah, no, TikTok and the way that we're consuming music,
Yeah.
it hurts us so much. Like, imagine, you know what we feel like? We feel like, imagine a friend of yours becomes a director,
Right.
gets their first bid, like, yo, Warner took it for $10 million. They putting the joint together. They build this amazing like project. It takes 6 years. And then, for their opening, their grand debut, they're like, yo, and they whip out the phone. And they like, yeah, yo, you want to watch it? And you watch it on your phone with no speaker system, nothing, not even a TV, let alone a cinema.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to us now. You do all this shit, all this time, dog. And then people just on their phones like, not funny. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like with this album though, do you want to create a record that's for TikTok? Or
Hell yeah.
Oh.
If I ain't sitting here in a year, dog, like, and I don't got some TikTok virality, man, I'll fire myself, dog.
Wow.
I have to do that. That's where we at.
Most artists be like, nah, I'm still on the wave of my own music. But you're like,
that's
dead
so
ass,
cute.
like,
That's
no.
like when artists like, I don't like to be labeled. I want to be labeled. Put me in a label.
What do you want to be labeled as?
Label me. That's the thing. I've actually struggled with that. That's one of the challenges of my career. As I am somewhat on the island.
But you are. Like, what would you even consider?
No, the question is, I have my cool little names that I wrote down on a Google Doc somewhere. I'm talking about, like, what would you really say?
Me?
Yeah.
About you?
Oh,
I
you buying time, dog. I'll tell you this. This is what because it's true. I know that it's been a challenge for me. And that's why I'm like, I want to be labeled. I want a TikTok viral sensation. I would love if 3 seconds of 3 minutes and 33 seconds was like some big thing.
But why though?
Because an artist like Steve Lacy, who was already dope since the internet, would not be in a household name in like young kids in middle America if not for TikTok. I don't think so. I've been a fan of Steve Lacy from way back, and then I've loved his music for years. And I'd be like, "Yo, do you know Steve Lacy?" And people are like, "No." And then if you're a cool kid, then you know the internet, but you'll know Sid.
Yeah, exactly.
But now look at Steve Lacy because of TikTok, and the algorithm works way better.
But you say you don't want to be in the limelight, though. That's gonna put you out there.
I did not want to be.
Oh, but now you're ready.
But now I'm here. I'm ready for it, I guess.
Okay. Even with balancing your relationship.
We're going to see, like this is a challenge. This is a new frontier for us. It's not easy because I've been, I do this. I'll go in the studio to finish the project. You know the life.
I do.
I do not see. This is why our relationships have suffered in the past. It's like this life is not easy.
It's not.
I can only imagine as a woman when they're like, yo, stay your ass here, please. You know what I mean? I know that that's part of the energy. So for me, it's like I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But I want to share. That was my New Year's resolution. I was in Ghana, and
did you go when Chance was out there?
Yeah, I did. I wasn't able to stay for the festival, but I was there earlier. I think all of us got there on the 27th. Vic and him have been kind of telling me about this festival for a while. They have an amazing program, Starline Youth Program that they do in Chicago. You from Chicago, yeah?
Yeah, those have been my friends since we grew up together.
So I'm over here like mansplaining to you right now. You're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just had a full interview with him last episode.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We talked about it and we chopped it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think what they're doing is exceptional. Like,
do you know Vic, he actually stayed outside, like he slept outside underneath the viaduct in Chicago, trying to bring more like awareness of the homelessness in Chicago.
I did not know that.
Yesterday.
Wow.
He was on TMZ and he just sets the bar so high. It's really impeccable.
I'm really proud of like how he's evolved over time. I was a fan of Vic like when he had the long hair.
The curly hair, yeah.
Yeah, the curly hair in Layton
Kids
High
these
School.
Days, do you remember
yes,
that?
I remember, of course.
Yeah.
I knew the band and like I knew Chance when he first came to LA. These are like, it's obviously been like through studios and events or whatnot. But from that distance, I've always admired what they do. So
yeah. How did you feel about the show being free? I was interested in that, and he spoke really about the whole thing. I was like, why? But he just wanted more just accessibility for people.
Yeah.
Even to come to Africa. I still haven't been out of the country because of my busy life,
Yeah.
And like they were really adamant, like, you need to come. And now I'm looking at the videos. I was like, I should have came.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is, I won't speak for the festival, but I know that for them and for those of us who've been going now repeatedly, this is a thing that Black people do now.
Yeah.
That's what we do. And I always wanted that. This is something that me and my team and my friends who are in like the diasporic circles planned for years. We've been doing this from, I'd say actively from 2015, 2016 on.
Wow.
going, talking about it, flexing, getting something that goes viral,
Not
doing
the
it
flex.
again, bringing people, 50 people. Bazoma St. John, she's like the supreme architect of this.
Wow.
Like, especially with Ghana and getting the Ghanaian president administration on board. She really like was instrumental. But we're all doing that. We just kept going. And we're like, one day this is gonna be a thing that black people just do.
Wow.
So I'm proud to say that I was one of the factors. And then, last year, of course, with Chance and Vic, they're huge factors as well. So it's beautiful to see this yellow brick road being painted. It's going to change the hood out here.
Yeah.
Because once we have a successful black nation somewhere, then we will all walk with a certain dignity. And I'm telling you, the things we put up with, we ain't going to put up with.
Ooh.
You got to have an African country that says no to Europe and America, because then we feel the power of that here. And so we say no to being treated as second-class citizens here too.
Yeah. Well, I enjoyed this interview. I wasn't expecting all this.
Well, damn, dog.
I'm just joking. I'm just messing with
First you shaded some of my top artists, and then you shade me.
I'm joking. You see,
What the hell were you expecting? What is? Let me see this.
No,
we not done, dog.
That's fine.
Let me see what you was gonna do.
That wasn't me with the questions.
Oh,
okay?
you did have a monogamy polyamory question.
Yeah. I mean, you went viral for it. I had to get into it. Yeah.
Oh, you got multiple choice? Okay. Let's.
Why are you looking through the...
You attended Stanford and also accepted into Harvard, but you turned it down.
He's never looking at the question.
What
yeah, why
made
did you turn
want
it
to
down?
turn down Harvard and attend Stanford? Is Stanford not an amazing school?
Yeah.
All right. I like the swag. It had better swag. They had palm trees, to be honest. They had palm trees.
Yeah, that's true. Did you graduate?
Yeah, I graduated.
4 years?
5 years. I definitely had a year where
You was being toxic.
Nah, I was just smoking too much.
Was that what that was?
Yeah, that's what it
Okay.
was. I was smoking. I had this spiritual awakening, not when I was high. And I just, like when you 20, dog,
good.
there's a lot of things that be going through your mind.
I know,
And
I'm in my 20s,
then
so a lot goes in my mind.
My family, but I was actually 20.
How you know how old I am?
Why did your voice get deeper when you said that? It should have gone
I was a
higher.
little-
You should have gone higher. How do you know? How old I am? Like you went deeper and more mature. Nah, I know you're in your 20s, but like
Right.
20?
Crazy.
If you were doing this at 20, I would feel like shit. I'm like, I'm in my 30s and I haven't done this is you. I'd be proud of you and envious. So I'm
You should
pretty
be.
sure you yeah. Oh, all right. Last question.
He wasn't ready for Bryhana.
All right, last question.
Just kidding.
Let me back it. You've tapped into acting a bit. You made an appearance on Issa Rae's Insecure back in 2016.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's do a quick role reversal. I'm you and you're me.
Okay.
And you tell me how you thought the interview was gonna go. So you be me.
Okay.
All right, you've tapped into acting a bit. You made an
hold
appearance on Issa Rae's back in 2016. This
is how you call
Tell me about that experience being on Insecure. And can we expect more acting from you in the future?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm such a alpha but beta but sigma man, and
That's so funny.
I could totally see myself doing more acting. But with my relationship, I'm busy. I'm focused in love. But eventually, I'll get into it. We'll see whatever the universe holds for me.
Wow, that's so amazing. That was really good. That was good. I love it.
I was an actor. I actually was on Issa's show as well. I did
shit.
Sweet Life. It was reality TV, but my goal is to be an actor as well. So
Me too.
don't get it
I
twisted.
just haven't gone gun ho in it, and I got too much respect for the craft. But next year, damn, now I'm feeling like you doing me.
You like that though?
Dang, look at. I
Now-
look
now
pretty
you
cool.
look-
You made me look kind of cool.
You was all right. The hand. I can't believe you held the cup the whole interview.
Do you like that? I did think about it. I was like, I could place it down, but then
You
it was
could
too
at
late.
some point.
It was too late
That's
when
how
I
I felt about
realized
the
that.
papers. But it was good. Is there anything that we didn't touch on? I don't want to miss on anything because this is special.
There's so much that we don't know about each other.
I know. But it's not about me. It's about you.
No, I mean, we touched on things that I think matter. Yeah. And this is coming out when? Am I breaking the fourth wall or whatever?
Yeah, you can't say when. It's coming out soon.
Okay, all
Why,
right.
you got a major announcement?
What?
Or you got a baby on the way? What's up?
Dang, she digging. You fishing right now.
What?
No, I don't have a baby on the way.
Maybe.
Nah, man.
You never
I know. You have no idea how. No, you're right. No, you never know. But you never know. Let me not play.
Right.
I actually got scared thinking saying some shit. But
I'm intuitive, so.
yo, what? What?
I'm sorry. Okay,
Oh my
let's focus.
god.
Let's focus.
Yo,
let's
you
focus.
wow. You like them fake ass spirit mediums in LA, dog. Fucking niggas' lives
I've
up.
been here long enough,
One
8
relationship
years.
at a time. Oh man, I can't stand them people, dog. I wish I could just rip their little psychic reader things off their front. Whatever they got, their pages and shit. You just trigger me. Them people
I'm
messing
sorry.
people up,
Okay.
being like, I'm intuitive. You need to be with the man you're with now. It's like, yo, man.
Yeah, I am
that dude
intuitive,
is
but I
terrible.
don't see a baby coming. I was just talking.
I know. It's,
Okay.
well, you know what? We'll end there because I don't know what else you finna say. Shit.
No, but seriously, thank
All
you
right,
for
thank
stopping
you.
by. Leave it to be and let it be with Jidenna. You know.
All right, yo. Thank you, Bryhana.